Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Hello, friends. It is a Thursday. That means Bank First and the Ranger Hour. That's what we do between 9 and 10 on this final day of October in 2024. A little Halloween with a little rain that's going to be making its way through. We'll discuss the weather forecast in just a moment. Let me tell you what's on tap for our program today. In the world of athletics, the Northwest football team trying to finish up the regular season, wrap up a North Division title. That game has been moved from tonight to Friday. We'll talk more about that. The Northwest volleyball team is hosting the Region 23 tournament. The number one women's soccer team is in the news. I've got to tell you about that. Our first guest that we visit with today will be women's basketball coach LaTaryl Williams. Talk with Coach Williams about this version of the Lady Ranger basketball team. Kind of a little look back a little bit to last year, and then what is a brand new roster for Coach Williams and the women's basketball team at Northwest Community College. So we'll do that with him. And when we're done with that conversation, we will bring in the Director of Choral Activities, Dr. Alex Belohlavek. Alex will join us. They had some performances already. They got another that's coming up November 6th that we need to discuss and get into all things in the choir, in the chorus world, and in the NWCC as well, when you can go listen to some performances. And all of that will be coming up on today's program. So we have that in line for you on this Thursday. But since some of us trick-or-treated last night in the area and went out in different places, others are still going to host those events tonight. We've got to take a peek at some weather. It's brought to you by Pickens Pest Control. And let's say if you're in Batesville and you want to eliminate the pests, the easiest way to do it, give a phone call to the people at Pickens. 662-563-8288. That is 563-8288. Your forecast and radar's already, got a good peek of letting us know what's going to happen here middle of the afternoon. It's moving on into the area through Arkansas as we speak. Now, there is a marginal risk of severe weather today. Right now, it says 3 p.m. is the best chance, about an 80% chance to get started. Well, we're going to be in the upper 70s, and then the storms start to roll through. Winds may kick up just a little bit. And then light rain throughout the night and down to 60. Some of that rain could still be around in the early a.m. hours tomorrow, but then we'll move on into just a cloudy day and cloudy night for high school football in the North Mississippi area. And so 3 o'clock, again, as we do have the clouds are ready, but the storm clouds start to really get in here around 3. And it's changed in the last 5 minutes, now to above an 80% chance at 3 o'clock, 70% at 4. And then it stays in at around 50 to 60 all the way into 11 o'clock tonight. There could be some scattered thunderstorms after we get into the p.m. hours of, let's just say, 6 to 7, about the time you want to get out and trick-or-treat tonight. But just be smart, be cautious, watch what you're doing as the storms, and there's a line, you can see the very first part of it is going to bring some heavy rain, and then it's just going to be light rain behind it that's going to continue for several hours. So coming in at about 3 this afternoon, and then hanging around into around midnight tonight. So that's your forecast. So the marginal risk for some severe weather today. Tomorrow, we expect clouds and 73 to open up November and 61 for the overnight low. Upper 70s on Saturday, back into the 80s for the rest of the weekend and into next week with a chance of rain coming back on Election Day, Tuesday the 5th. How will that affect things in and around? Nonetheless, finally, and I know that there is that chance of some severe weather today. There is that opportunity that some of those storms could be severe. We're actually going to have a chance for some rain, and we see it on radar. Hopefully it won't get to the Mississippi River and stop, and hopefully it won't be severe. We'll just get some rain much needed here in North Mississippi. 67, and now you know the forecast. We thank Pickens Pest Control. Again, if you're in Batesville, it is 662-563-8288. So women's basketball will be our discussion a little bit later on, but the rest of the sporting world has things happening as well. The NJCAA Region 23 volleyball tournament is in Senatobia, scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday at Howard Coliseum. The Northwest volleyball team captured the number 1 seed and hosting rights of the tournament. The other teams that will be there are Itawamba, Jones, Pearl River, Northeast, and Meridian. It's a single elimination tournament. 4 matches on Friday and the championship match on Saturday. And the winner of the Region 23 tournament faces the champion of the Alabama Community College Conference on Saturday, November 9, and the winner of that gets an automatic bid into the NJCAA Division II National Tournament. So you'll just have to wait and see if Northwest can come through and win this Region 23 tournament, when and where and how they will face off against the Region 22 winner from Alabama. Now, all of the matches will be streamed on Ranger TV, NWCCRangers.com/watch. You can purchase tickets online. Their day pass is available for $10. No cash tickets will be sold, and they will allow both the MHSAA and the MACCC passes to be accepted. So if you have one of those that you have gotten somewhere along the way, you can get in. The full tournament schedule on Friday begins in the morning at 10 a.m. The 3-seed Jones against the 6-seed Meridian. You get at noon, number 4 versus number 5, Pearl River and Northeast. And then Northwest will play the lowest remaining seed at 2, and Itawamba gets the highest remaining seed at 4. And then your championship match at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Now, because the region tournament for volleyball is going on and football has been moved to Friday, the Northwest side of things is not going to be able to stream the football game. It will be through Itawamba if you want to go and you were going to check that out. But due to the weather concerns, that looks like there will be rain, yes, but by the time it's 3 o'clock when it really hits the heaviest here, it's going to move on over a little bit later, obviously, into Fulton. So kickoff at 7 between number 4 Northwest and Itawamba. Here's the deal. Northwest is 5-0 in the North Division, and with a win, they clinch the top seed. With a loss, it then could become a three-way tie with Northwest, Itawamba, and Holmes Community College. So there is a championship on the line in the North Division for Northwest and Itawamba. Holmes plays East to finish it up, and there actually could be, if Northwest wins and East wins, a three-way tie for second place. So weather concerns, obviously, playoff implications. No Northwest football tonight. They play tomorrow at 7 in Fulton. And again, you'll have to go to the ICC website or our sister station, Super Talk 101.9, carries the Itawamba broadcast. Actually, go to Fulton and be there and be loud for that Northwest football team trying to wrap it up and then getting that opportunity to get into the playoffs where you know that the two teams in the South already are decided with Mississippi Gulf Coast and East Central Community College. Northwest has already got a win over East Central on the road in the regular season. And then you have the number 1 women's soccer team in the country, finishing their regular season at 16-0. They did so and continue to dominate. It was a 4-0 win over Meridian on Tuesday. So they complete the program's first undefeated regular season. They wrap up the title and get a first-round bye in the postseason, and they will wait on the Region 23 tournament to see how the other teams do and who they have the opportunity to play. Full details regarding that, ticket information, and more will get posted when it's available at NWCCRangers.com. We encourage you to do that. Brian Lentz and Brian Oakley do a tremendous job keeping you up to date. All right, we now take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk that women's basketball season that's about to start with Coach LaTaryl Williams. They've already played some scrimmages. They've been out on the road. They've done several things. We'll find out what he thinks about this version of women's basketball at Northwest next.
Straight from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, The Temptations, the soulful sound that started it all. A night of harmony with the legends of Motown, the Mighty Temptations. Friday, November 1st, the Heindl Center for the Performing Arts in Senatobia, Mississippi. The legends are coming. The memories are waiting. Tickets on sale now at HeindlCenter.org. Don't miss The Temptations live.
As a hometown bank, Bank First is proud to offer top-notch banking products like home, personal, and business loans, and perks-earning checking accounts. Bank First supports local businesses and people who support their communities. We believe our towns, no matter the size, deserve the best products and the best customer service, an experience we all deserve. We're hometown banking at its best. We're Bank First. Do you bank with us? You should. Bank First is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Holly Jolly season is starting at Discount Building and Home Center. Make sure to mark your calendars for their annual Christmas open house, November 1st through November 3rd. And starting Sunday, October 27th through December 1st, Discount Building and Home Center is open Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Gear up for the holidays at Discount Building and Home Center on Highway 6 West in Oxford.
Good news for men. Baptist Memorial Hospital, North Mississippi, is the first hospital in Mississippi to offer aquablation therapy, a new minimally invasive treatment for BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Aquablation uses the power of water delivered with robotic precision to provide long-lasting relief with few complications. In most cases, men showed preserved continence, improved flow and performance. Embrace life again. Discover aquablation therapy from Baptist. Call for an appointment today at 662-234-1448.
Hey y'all, this is Parker Evans with First South Farm Credit in Oxford. Here at First South, we specialize in financing rural real estate. Whether it's a 1,000-acre hunting camp in the Delta or your own small piece of paradise anywhere in North Mississippi, we can make a customized loan package for you. First South offers long-term financing with competitive interest rates to fit your needs. So whatever your land financing needs may be, call me, Parker Evans, at First South Farm Credit, 662-234-5015, or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
Have you been to Como lately? Como is where you'll find two of the finest restaurants in the Mid-South. There's the famous Como Steakhouse, open Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m., Friday and Saturday at 4. The Oyster Bar is located above it and open Thursday through Saturday nights. Then there's Windy City Como, just down the street, open daily at 11 a.m. You cannot go wrong with Windy City's menu. Anything you order will be the best ever. Thursday night is bingo night at Windy City. It's a double helping of good times and good food. The Como Steakhouse and the Windy City Grill. Como.
Don't know where to park? Whether you have an existing parking lot or new construction, you need A-line striping to properly design your parking space. There's no job too big or too small for A-line striping. From your office parking lot to interior and exterior warehouse striping, call 901-335-8772. Plus, they do custom designs and stencil, seal coating, crack filling, and wheel stops. Call 901-335-8772. Or visit alinestripinginc.com and click on Request a Quote. A-Line Striping. A lot depends on us.
Are you interested in providing an excellent education for your children? One that not only challenges them academically, but also spiritually and morally. Magnolia Heights School may be the perfect fit for your family. Admissions for 2025-2026 are officially underway. We will host a preview day for our youngest Chiefs, grades 3K through 5K, on Tuesday, November 12th. Mini Magnolia Preview Day is a great way to see our pre-K and kindergarten classrooms in action. Please contact the admissions office at 662-562-4491. Discover more at Magnolia Heights School.
This hour is Everything Northwest. Your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
And let me answer a text message question. 3 p.m. is the estimated arrival of said rain. I think someone caught a little bit of that forecast earlier and wanted to know. At least that's what they say, whoever they are. I know who this person is. We've known one another for a day or two. We'll bring in the women's basketball coach at Northwest Community College. His name is LaTaryl Williams. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great, G-Dars, man. Great for having me on. I really appreciate you guys taking time to spotlight our program this morning.
Absolutely. And we got a lot to discuss. When I look at the roster and I look at different things and a lot of freshmen. We'll get to that in a minute, Coach. We'll get to that in a minute. You know, I guess year 2 for you at Northwest, a good start, close losses at the end. What do we take away from last year at Northwest?
Just about finishing the season. We talk about it every day in practice. Finish practice. You know, you want to have a positive outlook heading to the next day. So this year, you know, we want to finish strong in practice and games. And then within the season, you want to go down the stretch and be playing your best basketball in March and, you know, and going into the playoffs. So that's one thing we're trying to do is take that next step from year 1 to year 2, now into year 3.
So let's get into that roster. Am I correct in reading it? 3 sophomores and everything else first-year players?
Well, you have 4 sophomores.
Okay.
2 of them transferred from other junior colleges. Aaliyah Taylor from Connor State and Tarai Hazlett from Coahoma Community College. So those 2 transferred in. They're sophomores on the court. And also with Anaria Lee and Mariah Reed-Jones returning from last year's team. So we have 4 sophomores. But then on top of that, we got 2 redshirt freshmen who set out last year who will be sophomores in the classroom, but freshmen on the court.
So there is some experience there, but still we know, I get it. To your school, you're going to be flipping that roster a lot. Early indications in these jamborees and scrimmages that you've had. I know you had what looked like, I think, a pretty successful trip to Texas. Tell us what you have already seen on the floor in some of those games.
Well, one thing I've really seen is that we have a lot of depth, and that's going to be very key for our success this season. Last year we had 11 players on the roster to finish the year. We currently have 16 right now that are healthy, so it gives us the opportunity to have more bodies in practice, a little bit more competition and more competitive practices as well. So having that depth this season is going to be a major factor for us for a long time. You've been in this league and you see how the injuries can happen. Some people may fall behind academically, so you lose players here and there. But you want to make sure you have a roster that's set to handle those situations if they arise. So I like the depth we have. I like our versatility as well. We got some players that can play multiple positions on the court, and I think it's going to be a great factor for us in our success this season.
Coach LaTaryl Williams talking with us. I was a guest on a program, and it was for the Memphis Grizzlies job that I do, and I want to get your thoughts on this because early in the season, Coach Jenkins, here through 4 games, has really used an 11-man rotation, and obviously that's going to shorten at some time. If you feel like you have the depth that you have, what kind of rotation do you think you will have, and how do you kind of spread those minutes, especially in these early games you're about to play?
Well, it's very important that you let the players get the reps in practice, so it kind of emulates what's going to happen in the game. So we have a group of guys that come in and practice with us, and so we're able to put 5 in and 5 out at a time. against those guys in practice. And we've done that this preseason in our jamborees, and we've had some success with it. So we may look at doing that in the non-conference game to try to get some players, some experience, some reps within game situations, and then we just see how things look when we get closer to conference time. But I really feel like, if you can have a team that you don't have a lot of drop-off by putting in a new five, then you have an advantage of your opponent, because by the time you get to that third quarter, early fourth quarter, the other team may be worn down. They don't have the same depth that you have.
Right. And I guess practice, too, is where you can find out different combinations and what works, and you think, well, I can't go with that, especially at a certain time in the game. You feel where I'm going?
I know exactly what you mean. We've been doing that since July. Coach Pimpton, my assistant coach, and I, we've been kind of mix-matching different lineups. And like I said before, on the roster, we have a lot of versatile players. So we may look at a situation where we got Takiria Bland, who's a 6'1" forward, but she also has the skill set to play point. And we had her run a point one day for practice, like the whole practice. Mm-hmm. So, and she handled that very well. So we get our chance to look at our players in different positions in practice. We got a chance to look at them in different positions in the preseason. So now we're fine-tuning everything before our first game on tomorrow.
Yeah, it's here, right? And you guys will be going on the road to Baton Rouge to get things started. I was looking at that schedule. There's some new names and things that you're kind of filtering in, and I would imagine it is a challenging non-conference schedule, isn't it?
It is. The first two seasons here, we kind of had the schedule set with the previous coaching staff, so we kind of wanted to just honor those games. But we also saw that some of those teams we were playing, we were a little bit more inferior to them, and we kind of dominated them. So we kind of wanted to challenge ourselves and get ourselves ready for conference play by challenging some different teams. We're going to Three Rivers, who's ranked number 5 in the country this year in the preseason poll. It's always tough going down to Baton Rouge and play in their classic. They're going to be very tough. We also travel in a non-conference game at home, so it's always going to be difficult. Also going over to Mississippi Delta in a non-conference game. So we want to put ourselves in a position where we're playing teams that's going to get us ready for conference play, so our players, we got a lot of freshmen we're talking about, are not surprised by the level of intensity and what happens in the conference.
And with every coach I talk with at Northwest, we always know, no matter the sport, there's going to be some of the best in the country played. That's no different in women's basketball. So I don't want to put expectations or this or that on you, but what kind of goals have you guys talked about as far as this regular season is concerned, and then getting into your playoff situation and whatever may come next?
We're looking at it as a process. The first year we got the job extremely late, so we kind of had the hand we were dealt, just played with it. We finished tied for last our first year, but then we took some steps in year 2. We finished 6th, one game outside the top 4. So now we're trying to take that next step, get into that top 4, trying to compete for a championship. And I think we have the players and the personnel that can kind of put us in that position to be successful. We look at everything that our school is doing. The football team is playing well. The women's soccer team is number 1 in the country. Volleyball team just won the MACCC conference. So, we're letting our players know that there's an expectation here at Northwest, and we got to make sure we're following the trend. We want to make sure we're competing for championships and putting ourselves to be successful.
Coach, you're a girl dad. You're going to stick around long enough to coach some of them?
Hey, listen, I hope so. My 3-year-old, every time we walk into the gym, she runs to the ball rack, and I get excited because I think she's going to start dribbling and trying to shoot, but she just take all the basketballs and just throw them everywhere.
Sure.
And then my 5-month, who is got some big hands and big long arms, and you look at her already getting offers from Ole Miss and other schools. So we're excited about her and the possibility of her maybe playing basketball. But then my 13-year-old, she's a color guard fanatic. She's just got a solo in the upcoming show for color guard.
Awesome.
And she has definitely dived into that and been committed to that. So regardless if I get a chance to coach them or not, they're still my daughters. I'm going to love them regardless. But it would be nice to have one to follow in our footsteps.
Absolutely. Mom was pretty good too, right?
Mom was pretty good. She held her own. Everybody talk about how good I played, but she may be one of the best basketball players in the family. So that has yet to be known because we haven't played one-on-one yet.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe one day, right? Coach,
one day.
I appreciate your time this morning. Good luck this season, and we'll talk later.
Thanks, G-Dog. Go Rangers. Go Rangers.
Appreciate it. LaTaryl Williams, Oxford High, Northwest, Ole Miss, coached now for, I think this is the 15th, 16th season he's been in the coaching profession, made his way back into North Mississippi at Northwest with the Lady Rangers, and they've had a couple of jamborees and scrimmages, and now tomorrow in the Lady Bear Classic in Baton Rouge at Baton Rouge Community College. They'll play Shorter College in Baton Rouge tomorrow at 3. And then on Saturday, they play the home team at 5. First basketball game at home, they play against Bishop State in Senatobia on Monday, November 11. So we encourage you to get ready for some fun stuff at Howard Coliseum coming up this season. As he said, slowly building in year 1 to year 2, now to year 3 to see what might happen. It's a good-looking roster, too, and I think they've had some early success. Hopefully that will continue with regular season game number 1 coming up tomorrow. All right, we're midway through our program. We call it the Bank First Ranger Hour, the Thursday edition of North Mississippi Spotlight. We will move off into the break, and then we'll come back and we'll get into the choir, the chorus, and things that are going on in that department with Dr. Alex Belohlavek. It's next.
%76% of online local searches result in a phone call or visit. But is your information correct? 86% of business listings on the web have inaccuracies and missing data. We can fix that for you. Hi, this is Rick Mize, Market Manager for SuperTalk Mississippi Media. Would you like to get a report card on how you're doing on the Internet highway? Simply go to stmmdigital.com, click on the free demo for a free assessment of your digital presence. SuperTalk Mississippi Media is helping businesses across the state and North Mississippi reach their customers and prospects. We offer services from website design to optimization products and targeted display advertising, including retargeting, geofencing, first-party addressable. Reach out to any SuperTalk Mississippi Media representative to get started. You can reach me, R. Mize, at supertalk.fm or go to our stmmdigital.com site and ask for a free assessment and get started on your digital journey today.
This holiday, money should never stand between you and your dreams.
At Juniker's, there's always a way. I'm Corey Ravenstein.
And I'm John Ravenstein. That's why, given the high interest rates, we're now offering special 3 years interest-free financing at Juniker Jewelry Company. That's 3 years, 36 months, interest-free financing for qualified buyers.
Buy those gorgeous $5,000 diamond stud earrings she's always wanted from Juniker's and pay just $139 per month.
Buy that big, beautiful $10,000 diamond ring and pay just $277 per month.
Buy a $3,000 diamond tennis bracelet for just $84 per month.
Whatever you want at Juniker Jewelry Company, just divide the price by 36 and that's your monthly payment.
Shop now for Christmas during our 80th anniversary celebration and save.
Because right now, through the end of the month, get 3 years, 36 months, interest-free.
Juniker Jewelry Company, celebrating 80 years as Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway and junikerjewelry.com.
The youth basketball season for the Oxford Park Commission is right around the corner. Registration for the 2024 winter season is going on right now through November 3rd. Leagues are available for boys and girls ages 7 through 15. Our season will begin on January 6th in the Coach Howell Center. Sign up online at oxfordparkcommission.com or visit us in person at both centers Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Keep yourself updated with us through our social media at Oxford Park Commission.
Not sure which devices are connected to your home Wi-Fi? With the free Command IQ app from Northeast Spark, you can view and manage your home network. With Command IQ, see an instant snapshot of connected devices, run speed tests, and safely share Wi-Fi with your guests. Understand how the internet is being used in your home with Command IQ. Visit www.nesparc.com. That's nespark.com to learn more.
When you're on the road and looking for the next refill stop, be sure to look no further than one with the Oil Drop. D's Oil, where there's quality in every tank. All of your convenience stores are locally owned and operated from within your community. When in Calhoun County, visit Derma Mini Mart, Bruce Express Shop, or Calhoun Express. And when in Yalobusha County, stop in at Express Mart number 7 or Super Stop Grocery. Keep it local your next C-store visit with one of these D's Oil locations, where there's quality in every tank.
Pray for America. Come to the cross this Sunday throughout Lafayette and Marshall counties. Sunday afternoon, November 3rd at 3:33. Gather to pray for America on the brink of an important election day. Come to the cross at Admiral Baptist, Anchor Baptist on Highway 7 South, First Baptist Oxford, Holly Springs Baptist, the Cross site on the Waller property on Highway 6 West, New Prospect Baptist on Highway 334, the BSU at Ole Miss, and Sladen Baptist on Highway 72. Come to the cross, pray for America this Sunday afternoon at 3:33.
Ron's Music Center is the full-line music store in Oxford. Sound support, instruments, and accessories, and the professionals to back those up. Come and play your next instrument at Ron's Music Center, Midtown Shopping Center in Oxford, 662-234-0051.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
9:38, so we have a little time to go here. And guest number 2, and I want to thank women's basketball coach LaTaryl Williams, who joins us, and they get ready again. Tomorrow is the first regular season game for women's basketball. And before I'm done, since I just mentioned that, better find the men's basketball schedule to tell you what's going up. I gave you every other sporting event that's going on. Now we're going to move into the direction with the Director of Choral Activities, Dr. Alex Belohlavek, into a couple of things, some that have already happened, others that are about to go. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Gary.
Good catching up with you as the commercial break was going on there, and visiting a little bit and talking about different aspects of things. Let's go first of all with what has happened recently, and I think a lot of people have talked about a collaboration that you guys have had with the University of Memphis. Do you mind talking about that?
Sure. Yeah, so this was this past Tuesday night. We took our Ranger Chorale up to the University of Memphis to sing at the Scheit Family Performing Arts Center, and we opened the concert. And then the University of Memphis University Singers sang on that concert with us. So it was a really awesome opportunity to sing in a new hall with beautiful acoustics, hear their choir sing some great repertoire, and get to collaborate with Dr. Kathleen up there at the University of Memphis. So
did you
we're very excited about that.
Did you have previous connection with Memphis? How'd this come about?
Well, we try as much as we can to collaborate with all of the four-year schools in the region to make sure that our students, see what is happening in their programs and, give them options to think about as they move on from Northwest. So we have not worked with them previously, but I'm really excited about developing this relationship with Dr. Kathlina.
Do you have people in your different choirs that were kind of like me, right? Music was not going to be the major or the future in life, but really love to sing and really love music and like being involved. You have a good combination of those that are going to go maybe in your footsteps and do what you do, and then others that are just going to go out into the world and just like music, whether it's playing it, singing it, or just listening.
We do. So actually about 3/4 of Ranger Chorale is made up of non-music majors. So, across the spectrum of majors, people who are planning on doing all sorts of different things in life, but love singing, and especially in college and in university, this is a great opportunity for them to have an artistic outlet and also an opportunity for them to earn scholarship money that helps them pay for school. So we have a very broad spectrum of students that make up all of our choirs.
About how many students, let's just say last year, do you have off the top of your head who went on from Northwest to other, four-year schools and are singing in other places?
Probably 24 from last year.
Really?
Went on. Yep.
And probably you'll have that same kind of number this year, I would assume.
Yes, and we've had a great recruiting year, and we're working on building our program and increasing numbers. So we go on to bigger and better things every year.
Now, before we get to the performance coming up next week, let's talk about that recruiting. How does that go? We just talked to a basketball coach, and we talked about, his roster full of freshmen and just a couple of sophomores. How do you, get out and do what you do to bring in the talent that you have?
Well, a lot of it is just being out and visible in the high schools, especially in DeSoto County, where the majority of our students come from. So, for example, 2 Fridays ago, we took Ranger Chorale on a little recruiting tour. So we do this multiple times per year. This was our first outing for the fall semester, and we visited 3 high schools and sang for them, gave them a little preview of what we're singing on our fall concert program, and talked to them about our scholarship opportunities and got them to sing with us and, an opportunity to answer questions that they might have and plug our program and talk to them about audition days and scholarships and all of the opportunities that we have here at Northwest. So we try as much as possible to be visible in the community and partner with these high schools and to get our students out performing and interacting with as many students as possible.
How many different groups do you have?
Right now we have 3 choirs. There's one non-auditioned group that is open to anyone on campus, both faculty and students. And then we have 2 auditioned groups. Ranger Chorale is our large mixed ensemble that is auditioned. That's about 37 voices this year. And then we have a small 16-voice auditioned ensemble that performs primarily Renaissance music as well. So right now 3, and next year we will be bringing back our pop a cappella group for a 4th ensemble.
Excellent. All right, let's go with the upcoming concert at the Heindl Center. Tell us what we can expect on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we're really excited about this. Ranger Chorale, in particular, has been preparing a new work by a New Orleans-based composer named Dylan Tran, and it's an 8-movement a cappella music to life for the first time and to introduce it to the public. And we're doing this as part of the Coastal Choral Consortium that has been built with numerous choirs to support Dylan Tran's new piece and to fund its composition. So we are one of the lucky few to premiere it this fall, and Loyola University is also premiering this on Sunday this weekend. So, like I said, this is an 8-movement a cappella choral work, and it's based on poetry from a New Orleans-based poet, and it talks about sort of the personal effects of the climate crisis. And I think this is a really interesting opportunity for our singers and our audience to hear a more personal viewpoint on this, because I think the climate crisis is often presented in large-scale and impersonal facts and figures. 1.5 degrees Celsius there, billions of dollars in damage here.
Yeah.
But this work is really an intimate reflection on those personal impacts of this poet and his family who live on the coast in New Orleans, south of New Orleans in Louisiana, and the way that their land is being lost to rising tides and sinking land. And so it's a way to remind us that we've all been impacted by a warming world and that this crisis is very personal. But the work also offers hope for the future. So this has been a really fun piece to bring to life, and we've been able to host Dylan Tran on Zoom in some of our rehearsals and get to hear his thoughts on the composition and get his feedback in our rehearsals. So that's sort of the main theme of the concert. In addition to that, we have our Ranger consort singing a few Renaissance pieces, and then our new assistant director of choral activities, Dr. Jessica Payne, will be conducting the Northwest Singers, which is our non-auditioned treble group. And so we're really excited to have her on board, and this will be her premiere concert as well. So we've got a range of music, everything from the 16th century to the present, and of course the theme is based around this new work that we're really excited about. So we can't wait for audiences to hear it.
Absolutely. And again, that will be Wednesday night of next week. I'll give you the details as we finish. But the last thing I want to get into you with is practice time and rehearsal and how much time you guys have put into this. I don't know what the hours may be, but obviously extensive to get this, especially what it sounds like this program is going to be like. Extensive work has had to go in so far.
Yeah, we rehearse. Every choir rehearses 4 days a week for 50 minutes a day. And, of course, our students are spending some time in the practice room outside of rehearsal and preparing to make sure that they know their parts. So it's definitely a large-scale collective effort, and everybody takes responsibility to make sure that we are successful as an ensemble. You know, we're only as strong as our weakest link, and I feel very lucky that we have some excellent singers in all of our choirs this year who have really put in a fantastic amount of work and have been very dedicated to making this concert happen.
Well, thanks for being with us today, and look forward to things next week.
Thanks so much, Gary.
Dr. Alex Belohlavek, Director of Choral Activities at Northwest. That event comes up again on Wednesday. It will be at the Heindl Center for the Performing Arts as the fall concert, Color All Maps New. It takes place at 7 o'clock at the Heindl Center on the Senatobia campus. A cappella choral work, performing a piece and things by New Orleans composer Dylan Tran. I think you'll enjoy it. So that will be going on Wednesday. I think you will also enjoy the fact that tomorrow, if you're looking for something else going on, I know there's a lot of sports and things happening in the Northwest world. The Temptations are at the Heindl Center as well, North Mississippi. So if you are interested, you have that you can attend along the way. Really good show today. And I did go and I have the men's basketball schedule as well, since I failed in the Open to add them into the other things in the athletic world. Coach Oakley, who was on with us a week ago, will have his Rangers playing tomorrow at 5 and Saturday at 2 in West Memphis, Arkansas. Arkansas State Mid-South is the name of the college there in West Memphis. They will play National Park College tomorrow at 5 and then Saturday at 2 against Arkansas State Mid-South. And then non-conference action begins for Coach Oakley and his group as well. The first time that the men's team will tip it off in Senatobia will be on Thursday the 14th, in fact, against Coahoma. It will not count in conference play, but it obviously counts. And so we wish all the athletic teams the best. Basketball beginning, both men and women, tomorrow. Football, number 4 in the country, moved to tomorrow because of weather concerns tonight. Northwest wins, they win the North, and they'll host a playoff game. If they lose, there could be a tiebreaker that pushes them to second place. So that will go on tomorrow. You have the Region 23 volleyball tournament at Howard Coliseum that will go on tomorrow and Saturday. And then your number 1 women's soccer team just waiting to find out who's next after an undefeated regular season. Big stuff. All of the sports stuff you can find at NWCCRangers.com. You want more information on the Northwest choral activities that are going on, there is a story up on northwestms.edu. Go to news. You find out the information that we just talked about. And then, of course, if you are looking for things at some point, I just mentioned the Temptations at the Heindl Center. Then, of course, you get the chorale that we were just talking about with Northwest on Wednesday. But coming up on the 17th of the month, the Vienna Boys Choir, and then into December with more holiday-type work. On December the 10th with Celtic Woman, White Christmas Symphony Tour will go on. And that, all information you can find at heindlcenter.org. Time to wrap it up on a Thursday with this version of the Bank First Ranger Hour. We thank our guests. We thank you for being with us in all the ways that you are. We're about to get you back into the hobnob. Richard Cross hosting for Gallo this morning. Gerard will be there from 10 to 1, and it continues all the other shows into the Sports Talk Mississippi world from 3 until 6. And then it comes all the way back around. You get the Gallo program, and then tomorrow becomes the Roberts Wilson, PA, High School Sports Hour. And we are ready to start discussing playoff scenarios for the smaller classifications for sure, because we're getting to the end of the regular season. And for the upper classifications, still a little work to be done. Really positioning will set tomorrow in our 5A, 6A, and 7A. But for our 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A schools, you will lock in playoffs. A lot of them will be set. In fact, we'll set them all this weekend and then get going with playoff action. And you have that we'll get into the discussion with tomorrow. We will also be able to chat with you a little bit about college football and the different things that are going on and we keep up with the SEC, but we'll keep up with some of the other NCAA big games that are going on. And we'll talk about a little bit of all of it. And we'll get you updated on everything we can in tomorrow's program. I'm giving coaches, since, it is a week of preparation to get ready and, games on the line that mean you're going to be the 2 seed or the 3 seed or you're going to win the region, and kind of giving some guys a break a little bit this week. We may get back into the coaches next week. Hopefully my man Jake Thompson is going to come sit down with me, and we'll chat a little bit about all of it that we just mentioned. I'm going to get my brain together and get some of those scenarios together for you, and we'll do that tomorrow on our program, the Roberts Wilson PA High School Sports Hour. Prepare yourself for possible thunderstorms this afternoon, marginal risk that they could be severe. The forecast has kept saying 3 o'clock for the heaviest, but as we've been doing this show, it's been a steady move towards the Mississippi River, maybe even a little faster than I think the initial thought. And so some of the rain and thunderstorms may actually get here a little bit earlier than that. We're sitting here, just a little bit before 10. And some of the storms, if you're in, let's say right now, Coahoma, Tunica, and the most northwestern DeSoto County, you might be able to look across the river and see that first little line's pretty close to you, in fact. And so there will be some rain coming into North Mississippi. Mid to upper 70s if the temperature can get there. That's as high as we're going to go today with those scattered thunderstorms. Really, again, the heaviest schedule for 3 o'clock. I'm going to say we might see that just a little bit quicker than that. Down to 60 tonight, 73 tomorrow, some AM rain on your Friday. But for Friday night football, looks like we're going to be okay. Maybe the rain that we get, hopefully the storms aren't too severe. Just, knock down that dust so that we can enjoy Friday night football, Saturday wherever you're going for college games, and whatever you might have planned for the rest of the weekend. Well, thanks for hanging with us on a Thursday. 70 degrees with that rain just across the river in some of our locations. Drive safe out there, please, because we have enough that's been going on these North Mississippi roadways in the last couple of days. Tragic accidents all over the place. And with this rain that's coming up, lights on, wipers on, do what you need to do. Give yourself plenty of time. And let's do this thing tomorrow in the AM around 9:06. We'll get it started, and we'll talk to you about sports in the high school world. We'll remind you of other things going on the weekend, and we'll put another show in the books and finish up another week of the North Mississippi Spotlight. Today, though, our Bank First Ranger Hour is complete. We will speak in the AM. All right? So long.
So sad.